Hey guys, hopefully you can see. Hopefully this is working. I've never done a scheduled live stream before, so almost dropped a jar. So, yep, just say hi if you're joining. I saw a couple of people were waiting. Let me move this. Ooh, sorry. Just trying to get this set up. You guys can see. Let me pull this like that. There. I think that will work. Sorry about that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to paint this girl. On Sunday, my daughter did a fun, cute little thing where she rolled a dice to draw little ugly sweaters on an image. And while she was under the camera, I was off to the side and I was actually drawing my own figure. And so now I thought it would be fun to paint her on this live Watercolor Wednesday. The paints that I'm using today are by Rachel Beth. These are handmade watercolors. I love these watercolors. They are beautifully pigmented, really well done. You can find her on Etsy. These are also more of her paints here. You can tell I really love them. I have quite a few of them. So I figured I would pull those out and use them today. I am working on a Legion Stonehenge paper. This is the cold press 140 pound, and it is a block, but the edges have already started to kind of come up. I only have actually one more sheet of paper underneath her. I really like this paper. It's the Legion Stonehenge cold press paper. I sketched her with a combination of a Staedtler pencil and a Faber-Castell pencil. And I'm going to be using my silver black velvet brushes today. I pulled out a 6, 8, and 12. Just wasn't sure which size I wanted to use. I'll probably end up doing most of it with an 8. And then for the little bit of text here, I'll letter that in, or maybe I'll do that with pen afterwards. We'll see what happens. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. Move my water here. I only have one jar of water. I don't have a paper towel, which is kind of a bummer. I usually like to have a paper towel, but I'll use this microfiber cloth to remove any excess water I have. For some reason this looks crooked, but I think it'll be okay. So to start, I'm gonna start her skin. Let's see, I got a couple new colors that I thought would make a really good skin tone. And let me see, I have some scratch paper off to the side here. Let me pull it out. At least I thought I did. I don't quite have a, I don't have a swatch chart for my larger palettes here. So when I'm working like that, I just want to have a little scratch of paper and pull that off. I thought this would actually make a really nice shadow skin tone, and I think this one too. Gingerbread, yeah. I thought this gingerbread would make a really nice skin tone shadow. And then my favorite with hers is this sandy beach color. I like that one a lot for a skin base. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to come in here. I have not wet my paper. I'm just adding some of the paint directly to my paper. And then I will pull that out with water. You know what the hardest part is with these live streams is that I can't listen to music. And not that I can listen to music right now anyway, because my computer has my music on it and my computer won't turn on. So I have no music. But I mean, sometimes I'll listen on my phone or my computer, my laptop computer, like put on YouTube or something. But yeah, it's kind of the downfall, other than not being able to edit videos, is not being able to have music. And then of course on live streams, you don't really want to use music right in the background, because there's all that copyright stuff you gotta worry about. So there's that. There's that to think about. Let's see. That would be a really pretty skin tone. Or not skin tone, but blush. I'm just going to add another little swatch here. I thought this might make, I think I like the strawberry rhubarb. So if you check out Rachel Beth Designs, I think she has a website now, and she's gonna start offering her colors collections on her website now, not just on Etsy. So you can check her out. Maybe after the video is done, I will try to get that information for you in the description box. I'm not super savvy yet, so I don't have the descriptions set up before I go live. But I do try to add that information afterwards for you if you're interested. I see a couple of you on give her some cheeks. It's been a while since I've done any Watercolor Wednesday, so it's fun to get on here and do that again. And I think I've pretty much given up on my whole 12 days of Christmas stuff. It's just not happening. that's why today I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and schedule it, and then I am like on the hook for hopping on here because I don't know how that works. Like, does it automatically go live from my phone? So like I could be doing something totally random and it'll go live. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm super new to the whole YouTube. I mean, I've done a few, but not many. But I love watercoloring. It's kind of my favorite thing. I like it because it is very easy. You don't need a whole lot of supplies to pull out, you know, like you don't need a ton of stuff to do this. Which is definitely a perk. I'm just trying to decide which green do I want to add here. I think this is going to be way too green. So I don't know if you've noticed, but as I'm painting, I try not to go into an area right next to an area I just got done painting. I like to skip around for that because when you have a wet area in watercolors and you pull in more or you add water next to it, it will bleed because your paint wants to go where it will flow. So water goes to like the least, you know, resistance. And so that's why I like to jump around when I am doing a painting like this, or even when I am watercoloring stamps. I will jump around. Okay, so I'm going to take a second, let this area dry a little bit. I'm going to share my video on my Facebook wall and see if anybody would like to join and keep me company. Alrighty. There we go. I'm back. Okay. So I'm going to stick with my number 8 brush. I love the way her skin has come out. Really, really love that. My daughter asked me if I was going to trying to decide here. She asked me if I was going to line my drawing before I went and started painting it, and I said no. I don't line my drawings until after. And I think that's something that I've learned from Danielle Donaldson. I love her watercoloring style, and I have taken a few of her online courses. It's my dream to take an in-person workshop from her someday. It just has not happened yet, but one day I will definitely do that. So I really like the way she kind of sketches in pencil, paints, and then comes in and adds some more details with her pencil after the watercolor has dried. So I love that. And I'm going to keep this really kind of loose. This is my style. I love loose watercoloring. I don't like to get super detailed with it. So that is how this is going to go. Now I'm going to add this gold here, and because it's next to, see how it bled? It kind of bled into there, but that's okay. I'm going to be okay with that. Sometimes the bleeding just adds to that kind of sketch look, that really loose look. And for me, watercoloring is really just about enjoying myself, having some fun. Watercolor for me, when I first started watercoloring, which was, gosh, I think I've been watercoloring for it was after my son was born in 2013, and it may have been in 2014 when I first really started getting into it. So it's been a few years since I've been watercoloring, and this is definitely what I love about it. And what I really loved about it is that it taught me to not be such a perfectionist. Now I still have those tendencies, but watercoloring really kind of taught me that you don't have to be perfect. At the time, I was mainly using Copic markers as my medium to color stamps and make cards. And then I guess we'll do a little bit of story time here. When I was pregnant with my son, I gave a lot of that up. When I'm pregnant, I don't feel as creative. I kind of halt all of that. And so that happened after with him. And I actually sold all of my Copic markers, really did a huge purge of my craft stuff, my stamps, all that kind of stuff. And then I missed it. Of course, I missed it. So I got a set of watercolor markers, and that was my introduction to watercoloring, was that set of watercolor markers. And I fell in love instantly. And it's just, I've, obviously started getting paints and brushes, and that was how it happened. That was how I started watercoloring, and I love it now. I've loved it ever since. And it really helps to give me that peace, you know, when I'm doing art, making art. Watercolor really gives me that kind of sense of calm and relaxing. So I love it. Totally love it. So coming from using markers like Copics to watercolors, it's a different animal, obviously. It's a different medium, but it was a totally different animal for me. Because with the Copics, I was like, so, it would give me anxiety coloring. Literally anxiety. I was on design teams. I wanted to make things look good for them using their stamps, this and that, and I would have literally anxiety when I would sit down to color. And of course a lot of that was hormones, but it was hard. It was hard. You know, when you don't have that joy. And so when I found watercolors, or when watercolors found me, I was able to let go of a lot of that perfection and found a lot of that joy again in crafting and making art and all of that. Also stepped away from a lot of the design team stuff. So now I'm very, very, very selective about who I work with. I love to do commissions. I love to do guest spots and all that kind of stuff, because there's not like that whole pressure of deadlines, or you know, so many deadlines and stuff. So I think she's turning out so cute. I love her. Love her. So fun. If you're commenting, I am not seeing any comments, which is a bummer. So I apologize if you are saying anything. I'm not seeing anything. Maybe if you are watching, there's only like one other person other than me. I have my laptop on here. It looks like only one other person watching, so I'm gonna go ahead and start her hair. So what do I want to do for her hair? That's a good question. Should I do a blonde? That might be pretty. I love this purple. But I don't know. No, I don't think I want to do purple. This might tie in the gold without being gold. This has some other. Those are very similar colors. They're different, but they're very, very similar. One is aspen and one is mustard seed. I think we'll go in with mustard seed. And we might add some brown in here. One thing that 2020 is paint and sketch. Like I mentioned, I had taken some of Danielle Donaldson's courses in this year and before this year, but mostly this year. I took a few of her online character classes, and I was just thinking about it last night that I haven't finished. Like, I stopped. It was like every month was a new Zodiac girl, and I think the first 2 or 3 maybe months I did it, and then I just fell off. So I would love to like go back and finish that course. And then there was another, I think, what if stories or something like that. Another kind of course that I took that I signed up for and haven't finished. Do you guys do that? Do you guys sign up for online courses and take a couple of them and then stop? Or is that just me? No, I know it's kind of a thing. I have some courses coming up in the new year with Mixed Up Creative Academy online. So I will put a link to that as well after this video, so you guys can take a look at that. Take a look at some of those courses that are coming out. I'm going to add some of this gingerbread into her hair. Kind of where there would be more of a shadow. Once my paper is wet, I love to just kind of drop some other colors around and let it kind of bleed into that, and then once it's dry I will come back and add some more detail. But I like to just let it kind of do its thing at first. That. I'm loving that. Loving that. That's my chair, by the way. It's squeaky. Ugh. See, one of my favorite things about stamping and coloring was this right here, bringing an image to life, seeing it come to like dimension with color and all that, and I love that. And it's like there's just something about I can't just, I drew this. Like, I don't consider myself this is gonna sound funny, I don't consider myself an artist, but I drew her and I think she's adorable. I think she's super cute. And to bring something of my own to life with color is crazy. That's something that I've always been wanting to kind of achieve, and I think I'm getting there. I love the bleeding that is happening here. Like I said, when I talked earlier about jumping around place to place, I like to definitely let the face dry before I do the hair, because I don't want this kind of bleeding to happen in the face. But in the clothes and other areas of an image, I love it. And when I'm doing florals, I love to see this bleeding happen, you know, in spots, because it just gives it some unexpected beauty that, you know, you couldn't do that. It's just different. So I am going to add, I like this Minima color as a shadow for skin, and now that I think her skin is a little bit dry, I'm going to attempt to add a little bit shadow here on her chin. I know it looks crazy, like, holy moly, why would you bring that dark color in? But it just really adds some pretty dimension. I'm going to add it over her eyes here. And I sopped up a lot of that with my brush. I'm going to soften that out just a little bit. Not too much. Now I'm going to need to mix a little bit more of that. There we go. Rinse out my brush, and now I'm going to blend that. And you can see it just, it really gives her some more dimension, really brings her to life. If you guys watch the replay, let me know what you guys, like, what times you would like to see a live stream, because for several different reasons I would love to start doing them more. One being because I don't have a computer right now to edit videos and such, and the other being I think it's a lot of fun to interact and chat with you guys while I'm painting or while I'm creating. So I would love to have more of that option on my channel if that's something that you guys would like. I know some people don't really care. You know, you want to watch a 10-15 minute video and not be sitting there for hours. But I was thinking once a week would be cool. So I would love to know. Originally, when I kind of kicked this idea around, I thought Mondays for Mixed Media Monday, but maybe watercolors would be more appealing. I don't know. So definitely, if you have an opinion on that, or maybe you don't care. But I'd love to know, like, what time most people would appreciate something like that. Oh, I love the way her face looks. So before I move on, I want to heat set this. So I use my Ranger heat tool because it's not super hot, and I just kind of move around the image, and I used to do this all the time when I first started watercoloring, and then I would start seeing other watercolor people that were watercoloring, and they were like, no, 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 never heat set your work. You know, always let the watercolor dry naturally, organically, because, you know, it's still moving and creating different little blends and stuff, in which I totally agree to an extent. And I thought, oh, I was doing it wrong, or I'm not good, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm heat setting. And then I took some classes from Danielle Donaldson, and she heat sets, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with her work. She's an amazing artist, and she uses a heat tool. I'm gonna use my heat tool when I want to. And it's just because I don't want to, you know, I have limited time to create. I don't want to let it dry and then come back and not, you know, whatever. So yeah, so now I heat set, and I don't mind. I wonder how this will look. This is another tip from Danielle. She uses these colored pencils to add in, or add back in, some of her details, and I finally got them. So I thought, why not? We'll use it here. This is the pattern for my ugly sweater that I got. And instead of using my paintbrush to add this little detail back in, I'll just use these. And I'm just being very sketchy with it. I'm not being super careful. I'm just kind of following the pencil line that I can still see there. And it's all good. I like it. Oh, thank you, Scrapaholic. I don't know your name. I'm bad with names. Like I you know, like Inky Fairy Designs. I mean, you know, Carissa, but I'm bad with like usernames and stuff. So I apologize. You can tell me your name. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, Shannon. Hey girl. Yay. Shannon. Awesome. Thanks for hopping on. Yep, this is what I'm doing. I really like the way she's looking. I'm going to add some more detail to her hair. I need to paint in her eyes. So let's do her eyes. I'm going to pull out my tiny brush here because I don't really want that to overflow. What color eyes? I'm gravitating to, oh look, there's a ton of glitter in this pencil. You know why? Or this paintbrush, because I used it yesterday to letter. Those are pretty. I think that would be too dark. I was kind of gravitating toward this color, and I think I'm gonna do what I want. Ah, that's so funny. I want to see your ugly sweater. You'll have to show it to me on Facebook. I still need an ugly sweater. I want one. And I think I'm going to So we have a little bit of variation in her eyes. When I first started watercoloring with paintbrushes, I also thought I had to like use the same size brush throughout the painting, and then I finally like allowed, you know, myself like, oh, I can use a smaller brush for details, or I can switch to a liner brush. My favorite brushes are definitely the round brushes. Those are definitely what I'm going to gravitate toward first. I'm going to try this strawberry rhubarb color that I did her cheeks. When I did the cheeks, I blended it with the skin tone, so this is the color on its own. And then I'm thinking I'm going to go in with this one, or maybe this one. No. Which one is it going to be? I don't know, maybe it's going to be this one. Or, you know what I should do is the one that I already have. There we go. So this is the color I used on her shirt. And I like that. Very cute. No, I haven't. Tam, I took one life book, Tam, right? Life book. I took one of her life book classes. Gosh, it was probably in 2012 or so when I first started getting into mixed media. But again, I'm terrible with like those year-long classes. I never finish them. Never finish them. So I've never finished a life book. I watched some of the videos and stuff like that. But I think you still learn, even if you watch the videos and don't actually make the project, you still are getting like bits and pieces and ideas for your own art. Yes. So I have taken that one. I think it was back in 2012, but not Effie. You'll have to PM me or leave a link here so I can go check her out. It's not ringing a bell, but like I said, I'm terrible with names, so it's not like I probably know exactly who you're talking about. I just don't know off the top of my head. So let's see. This is pretty dry hair. I'm going to go in with my mechanical pencil. That's what this is called. And I don't know. These pencils, I want to love them. But they drive me nuts. Trying to get the lead out. I wonder if I put too many in, because I refilled it recently. And I wonder if I just put too many in, and it's like not allowing it to flow, right? So let's try that. Effie Wiles. They are lifetime access, but I don't think they were in 2012. I don't think they were, because I remember like it was like November, and she was like sending out emails saying, if you want your classes, you need to go in and download them before the 31st, and I never did. Terrible. There we go. But yeah, I actually have like Jen is teaching. Jen, Mixed Media Jen, she's teaching Life Book this year, which is so cool to like see these people who are now teaching. I dream about it. I dream about being able to teach. But I also I do teach at Mixed Up Creative, so I have been able to kind of have some of my dreams come true, which is always cool. Sorry, I get kind of in this zone when I'm sketching out or kind of trying to bring back in some of these details that get lost. I can't talk and do this at the same time, which is pretty ridiculous. Ha! Jess, hey girl! I don't know why I stream while you're at work. I stream at all hours of the day. Yes, the summit. She did, and I got that email, and I would love to take a look at it. I think I watched Mixed Media Jen's class, and that was it. So it would be fun to see some of the other artists' classes. And yes, Jess, you should have gotten this Christmas set. It's awesome. I love the gold. And I love the green too. Oops. Ah! Pressing too hard. It's because I don't know a good time to stream. I think probably the best time is the worst time for me. We're on that Mountain Standard Time, and it's like, it's such a weird. Not quite Eastern when it's dinner time for us. They're done, but we're not. Cute, cute, cute. I love her. I love her. I want to add a little bit of a shadow to her. Whatever, Jess. I don't believe you. Totally don't believe you that you suck at mixed media. Just gonna say that. I bet you rock at it. And I bet you can draw people, because I saw that gnome. Wasn't it a gnome? You showed me, was so super cute. So I don't believe you. But I think you should. I think you should try it. And share it with us when you do. I'm just adding a little bit, tiny bit of a shadow underneath her eyelid. And go, I think her hair is dry. do need to do the bow. Totally lost the detail on the bow. Oh, cool. That's a good tip, Shannon. I never thought about dipping my white gel pen in acrylic paint and it doesn't work. That's brilliant. Because I don't like the way my lines look, I will just kind of add a little bit of scribble here and there. And I feel like if it looks like it was intentional, then it was. He isn't people. But it's cute. No, I'm going to tell you it looks good, so be prepared. I'm going to tell you it looks awesome. Going to color in her pupil with a pen. Trying to decide whether I want to leave her pencil or sketch her now that I'm pretty much done with the painting. I need to fill in the holly jolly. We'll try it with this first and then I don't think that's going to be enough. Nope. So, I could do it in paint. Trying to decide what we'll do black watercolor. So I'm gonna load up quite a bit of paint on my little brush here. This part I really concentrate. So just talk amongst yourselves. I will look up in a second. Oh, I think she's cute. Oh my gosh, I think she's so cute. Jess, did you see Rachel Beth's announcement about being able to get, like, create your own palettes? I'm so excited about that. Okay, see you, Shannon. I will definitely post it on Instagram and Facebook. But I think she's super cute. Like I can't decide whether I want to go over her in pen or not. I do want to give her hair a little bit more. What color is that? Pinot, chocolate strawberry, rose petals, gingerbread. Maybe I'll do Minima, which is what I used for a lot of the shadows on her face, and a little bit of gingerbread. Let's see what that'll look like together. I think that'll look cute. And a little bit more of this Minima. And I'm just going to add in a little bit of texture in her hair. I don't want to cover up that really light color completely, but I do want to add a little bit more texture to her hair. And what I'm doing is just kind of following the lines that I sketched in, but not perfectly. And then I will just take what's left on my brush and kind of blend that out. Like that. Soften up some of these lines. And some of this white here. Like that. I think I love her. I think she's super cute. And I will decide later, but I'll bring her up close so you can see her all done. You can see all of that texture in her sweater. all of the texture from the cold pressed paper. That's why I love painting on cold pressed paper. And that's it. So thanks guys for hanging out with me. Everybody who joined me, if you watched the replay, please please leave some comments. Let me know what you think of her. And I will see you guys in the next video. I don't know when that will be, but it will be alive again since I cannot edit. All right, guys. See you later. Bye. Sorry, I am leaving. Bye.